What's up, everybody? I'm Tucker, and today we're going to be talking about the big Flash Arrow crossover that happened this week, as well as the Suicide Squad casting that got confirmed. Off we go! The Flash and Arrow crossovers, I felt, were really well done. I liked them a lot. I was a fan of what they did. Both Amell and Gustin, the actors who play the Arrow and the Flash, respectively, I thought they had really strong chemistry together when they were on screen. All their scenes together, when Flash was talking to Arrow and that sort of stuff, it was really cool. It felt like, the guy who's been doing this forever is like kind of tough, darker, and then like young guy who's like, ooh, this is awesome. I can run incredibly fast. Let's be good guys. I thought they played off each other really well. They had a lot of real good scenes. Like whenever Oliver, the Arrow, would come into a place, there's going to be all these bad guys in there. He walks in, and the Flash has already beat them all and just tied them all up. And he's just waiting for him. He's like, hey, what up? They did that a few times. It was pretty funny both times. And of course, they did the obligatory fight between the two heroes. So Flash got all anger from one of the metahumans they were fighting. Prism, they were calling him, instead of Rainbow Raider. Not a bad improvement. So they fought, and they didn't have a clear winner, really. So that was I thought that was a good way to go. Because then it's like, who do you think would win? Who's better? So in the first half, Flash, they had their actual big fight. I was just like punching him, and then it was like trick arrows and stuff. And they ended up, Ollie was able to get him and like hold him so they could flash all these lights at him and get him to not be all angry. So it was like, yay, problem solved. And then they just instantly went and beat the bad guy, and everything was all good. And then in the Arrow one, they didn't really fisticuff fight, but they had a whole moral fight of like, Oliver's like, stab you with an arrow, torture you, tell me where they are. And Flash was like, whoa, dude, we're the good guys, don't be like that. They got into a big fight about that. And they sorted it out, so it was all good. Then at the end, they were like, let's go have a fight, see who really wins, let's finish this. And so they do it, and it ends with Flash sprinting at Arrow, and Arrow's like, heck, no, arrows. And then it just cuts, so you don't know how the fight went. All the group interactions, too, went really well. Cisco is a great character, so he's a really funny guy. There's a scene in the Arrow episode where Flash and Arrow are just like talking together in the corner, and he just like raises up a camera to take a picture of it. But then Caitlin's like, heck no. So he just does silly stuff like that all the time. And Diggle freaking out about Barry's powers was pretty good. He's like, how'd you do that? That's not right. Did you do everything that fast? It's just like poop and gone? What? It would have been cool if the two episodes had one large overarching plot connecting the two of them. They had like a tiny thing where the Arrow team went to Central City and were like, looking for a Boomerang Care guy. Can you help us out with Boomerang stuff? Like the metal. And they're like, yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, you're here, let's team up and be this guy. And they're like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. And so then they come back, and then Flash team comes over. They're like, hey, so we found Boomerang stuff, and also you wanted us to do blood samples, so I was gonna come pick them up instead of you just sending them to me. And they're like, okay. And they're like, let's team up. I'm like, fine. So then that's how they connected up. Nothing too big. Captain Boomerang was also an actual threat character this time, so that was pretty cool. He was whipping out metal boomerangs, some explosive in it. He just beat the crap out of all the Argus people, so that was pretty cool to watch and actually be impressive instead of Captain Boomerang, silly kind of guy. Everyone, it's like, that's a weird power. Why are you boomerangs? Who made you captain of them? No one knows. Now he's all locked up with Deathstroke. Both of those actors, coincidentally, were in the show Spartacus. So, fun fact there, a lot of Spartacus actors are in the Arrow universe, actually. So they seem to favor them. But yeah, they're in a cell together now, off on the island. So I'm sure that'll lead to something down the line. Let's see. Hopefully they do more crossover episodes like this. Because they were fun and they got really high ratings. Some of the highest ratings for both of those shows were from those episodes. So it would definitely be a good idea for them to do it again. Back on the movie side of the DC universe, we got 6 big casting announcements for the Suicide Squad movie. The movie doesn't come out until 2016, so they didn't give a ton. They're just names of who is who. Nothing too fancy. But I figured I'd talk about those because kind of a big deal. A few of them pretty big people. So the first one, arguably the biggest one, is that Jared Leto has been cast as the new Joker officially. This has been rumored for a while, but now it's official. He is the Joker now for this DC universe. For those of you who don't know who Jared Leto is, he was in Dallas Buyers Club last year. Very well acclaimed movie, starred in that. He's been in a handful of other movies since the early 2000s, and he's also a singer in the band 30 Seconds to Mars. I personally don't remember seeing him in any movies, so I don't know, like, off the top of my head how good an actor he is. But from what I heard about Dallas Buyers Club, he did a really good job. So I'm sure he will once again do a good job now as the Joker, stepping into Heath Ledger's shoes. Kind of hard because people really loved Heath Ledger's Joker. I liked it a lot too. He was an amazing character. But you gotta have a new one eventually. So we got it. And on that Joker note, Margot Robbie from Wolf of Wall Street is Harley Quinn. Which is pretty cool because Harley Quinn hasn't appeared in anything live action before. So this will be the first time that she's there. And Harley Quinn is a big fan favorite too. A lot of people cosplay as Harley Quinn just because she's a fun, silly character. If you don't know who Harley Quinn is, she's kind of Joker's sidekick, on and off girlfriend, partner, chick, person. She was like his therapist at Arkham for a bit, and she's like, nah, he's cool, I'm gonna go be crazy with him. That's how that happened. She did a fine job in Wolf of Wall Street, you know. Didn't think it was like amazing, but I thought it was good. But that's really the only thing I know of that she's been in, so I don't have a ton to go off of. So really the only test is how she says Mr. J, because that's kind of the most important thing for Harley. Honestly, how do you say Mr. J? You gotta say the thing right, because the cartoon incarnation is so perfect, and you just have to do it. She has to say it at some point for me to know that she can be Harley Quinn. Otherwise, it just won't work. Another big actor that got cast in this movie is Will Smith. He is going to be playing Deadshot. Deadshot is pretty much just this assassin who's got super good aim. He's just pew, headshot every time, or wherever he needs to shoot every time. Really good with his gun. He was in Arrow first and second season, and he's shown up in some of the Batman games as well. So people kind of know who he is now. Not huge character, he's kind of like B-listy, but he's a common member of the Suicide Squad. He's in the Arrow version of the Suicide Squad too, actually. So there's that. We're gonna have 2 Suicide Squads, both with Deadshot. Will Smith will be playing him, so that'll be fun to see, because Will Smith has had some hit or miss movies recently, so hopefully this one gets him back up doing good stuff. It's kind of a weird idea still, Will Smith being in a superhero movie like that as a villain, because he was Hancock back in 2006-ish, I think. So he was a superhero way back when, but now he's a villain. He doesn't have any powers, just like pew, shoot he has an arm wrist gun sometimes, so that was what that was. So I'm assuming he'll be a pretty prominent role leader, or maybe sort of a viewpoint for everyone. Who knows? We'll see. And they also got a returning veteran to the DC universe. Tom Hardy will be playing Rick Flag in the movie. Tom Hardy was Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, so that was his other DC universe role. I thought he did a good job there. I thought, like, it wasn't the classic Bane, but he did fine. He looked huge and intimidating, so it was good. He wore a weird mask. People complained about how he talked. Whatever. That's not the point. I'm not talking about Dark Knight Rises just different. And now he'll be playing a new character, Rick Flag, who's just kind of guy who's in the Suicide Squad. I don't really know him. I didn't recognize the name at first, to be honest. I had to look him up. But it seems he's just oftentimes a leader of the Suicide Squad. There's a Rick Flag Sr. who is in the Suicide Squad of World War II, and he's got like a son who's also Rick Flag. They're all Rick Flag. So I don't know which of the three Rick Flags. I'm assuming the middle one, maybe. And he's gonna be him, big tough guy, ordering people around. So Tom Hardy can do that. He's shown it. So that'll be good. Then Jai Courtney will be playing Captain Boomerang, which, as I said earlier, just premiered in the Arrow Flash universe, and then they're like, also here he is in the movie universe. So that timing was not great. DC sorted out. They're like, look, new Captain Boomerang, check it out, he's cool. And they're like, here's another Captain Boomerang. So that was just silly. They kind of did the same thing with The Flash, where they announced Ezra Miller's the movie Flash when the show first started. So it's a mess. Don't do that. But he'll be playing Captain Boomerang, which, in case you didn't pick up earlier, uses boomerangs, fights people. Classically, he's Australian. Boomerangs. Jai Courtney is Australian, so check there. We got that right. He's been in a handful of recent movies. He's in Terminator Genesis, the new one, which the trailer for just came out today. He was in the most recent Die Hard. He was Bruce Willis's son. He was in Divergent, apparently. I didn't see it, but that's what it says on IMDb. He seems just kind of like a average, tough actor, Australian dude. I can't really say how he'll do, but it should be fun. Boomerangs are neat. So, and Arrow's shown that you can make Captain Boomerang an actual intimidating character that can, actually fight. So hopefully they manage to do that in the movie universe too. And finally, number 6, rounding out the squad, is Cara Delevingne, who will be playing Enchantress. Enchantress is not a huge DC character. There's actually a Thor villain who was also named Enchantress, so don't mix those two. They're different. She uses magics and spells, enchantments. So that's what she is. Delevingne is actually a British model who's just recently, it seems, gotten into acting. It's good for her. That's cool. But it also means I haven't really seen her in anything, so don't know how she'll do. She's in the upcoming Pan movie starring Hugh Jackman and all of those guys. So we could see her then, see how she does. Maybe that'll show how she'll do in Suicide Squad. Maybe she'll die. Because Suicide Squad, someone has to die. They take on deadly missions. So someone has to be dead, probably. So it might be her. That was all the official casting stuff that happened for that movie. But then there's also a rumor that came out at the same time for who would be playing the role of Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller is the person who puts together Suicide Squad, Task Force X, whatever you want to call them. Suicide Squad sounds cooler. She's the one who's like, you villain, you villain, you villain. I'll come here. Here's some bombs in your necks. Go do stuff for us, or we'll kill you. And you know we're the government, so maybe we'll cut off time from your sentence if you help us out. Sort of deal. So they said 3 actresses that were up for this role: Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, and Oprah Winfrey. The Oprah. Yeah. So that was kind of a weird thing. Didn't expect that at all. Never in my mind did I picture Oprah Winfrey doing a superhero movie. That just not something I would have thought of. So yeah, maybe Oprah's gonna be in this movie. I don't know. That's rumor stuff right now, so nothing confirmed there. But it could happen apparently, so maybe prep yourselves for that. That's it for this week. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of some of this casting. Do you not want there to be a new Joker? Is Heath Ledger the only Joker for you? For the younger people, older people will be like, Jack Nicholson's the Joker. Who knows? Talk about it. Who's the Joker? Let me know. Just give your thoughts on the casting, you know? Like I did. Want to know what you think. That's the point. As always, be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, or, you know, found it helpful. Maybe you didn't know anything about Suicide Squad casting. Now you do. Tell all your friends. Suicide Squad. Cool people. Will Smith, Jared Leto, Joker. They'll be like, what? And you can be like, let me show you. And then show this video to them. Boom. Of course, also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, to be ready for more content that keeps rolling out of this machine that is my channel. So be sure to do all those things, and then come back next week to enjoy even more. It'll be great, and we'll all be happy. So it'll be fun. So yeah. Man, I am terrible at goodbye. I need a solid sign off.